What's up, everyone? Bigfoot here, coming back for another gear review. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Therm-a-Rest Z-Seat that I took with me during my 100-day Appalachian Trail thru-hike. Well, starting off, the Z-Seat is a pretty indispensable piece of gear. Kind of like the Therm-a-Rest pump sack of all the different uses that I had with that. This has a lot of different uses that I had when I was on the trail during my thru-hike. Now, the specs on this, from a weight standpoint, 2 ounces, so weighs little to nothing. And it is made of the closed cell foam, which is very similar, actually exactly the same as the Therm-a-Rest Z-Lite sole, except this has an R value of 2.2 and the Z-Lite sole, I believe, has an R value of 2.6. Now, what I use this for on the trail, first and foremost as a butt seat, but I also use it as a backrest, and every single night when I got in my tent, I use this also as a little clean area to set all my electronics and anything else that I wanted to set out on the floor of my tent, and just kind of kept things organized. Every single morning when I got out of my tent, I would put this outside of my tent to put my feet on. So when I was putting my shoes on, because I never kept my shoes in my tent, I would put my feet on here so I can keep them clean. And additionally, I would keep this sitting on the outside of my tent after I put my shoes on. And typically when I would get out of the tent, I would put my knee on the ground as I'm pulling my bag and everything else out of my tent, and would be able to prevent putting my knee right on the ground and getting my pants or my knee all dirty. So that was just another nice thing that I used this for. So a few other things that I saw some of the hikers use the Z-Seat for was a windscreen for their stove. And I also saw a lot of hikers use their Z-Seat to stoke their fire. And then I just kind of looked up some other uses for this online and what maybe other folks use this for, and quite a few people actually use this as an additional pad to put below their hip area, just for extra support and extra padding when they actually slept at night. So as you can see, there are quite a lot of uses out of this Z-Seat. Now, the price of the Z-Seat, most places are somewhere between $15 and $20, so very reasonable, and again, only 2 ounces. Now, the one thing that I didn't like about the Z-Seat was just the surface area. Sometimes I did wish it was just a little bit bigger. So one of the things that I would do if you are interested or are thinking about or have already bought the Therm-a-Rest Z-Lite sole, that runs pretty darn long. So I ordered one myself before I actually went with the Neo Air X-Lite, and found it to be somewhere about a foot and a half or so longer than I really needed. So what you can do is just cut your Z-Lite and use that for your butt pad, and then the rest of your Z-Lite for your regular sleeping pad. And then you'll have a little bit more surface for whatever you need to use this for. All in all, I was really happy with the Z-Seat. This held up really well. As you can see, no holes, just a little bit of wear and tear, but pretty sturdy piece of equipment. And again, for 2 ounces, for the relatively low cost, totally worth everything you can use it for on the trail. And especially just having a butt seat, I will tell you that it's really nice to be able to sit on something other than a log or a rock or the ground when you're out there on the trail for an extended period of time. So I'll put the links to both the Z-Seat and the Z-Lite sole in the details below if you're interested in purchasing this on Amazon. Now, something new that I started here, I'm still kind of in the experimenting stages, is I just started my Amazon store, which basically is an extension of Amazon. And what I can do is actually put whatever I want and categorize the items of what I want in this A-store that's just specific to how I want it designed. So what I did was I placed all of the items I took with me on my thru-hike that you can actually purchase on Amazon, and any like items that are similar to things that I brought with me, or I also put in some recommended items. So I'll put that below in the details, and I think that's something that'll probably evolve in the future. Maybe I'll do like deals of the week, things like that. But just another way for you guys to make it easier if you did want to see what kind of items that I brought with me on my thru hike and the pricing that it's going for right now on Amazon. Anyway, check it out. If you have any advice, tell me what you think. It's probably something I'm just going to continue to evolve and see where it goes. Well, that wraps up my review of my Therm-a-Rest Z-Seat. Stay tuned for my next sighting. I'm going to be releasing a video here soon talking about a little bit more of the details of trail days. Of course, another update of how we're doing with all the revenue that we are generating to donate to the Appalachian Trail Conservancy when I go to trail days, and a few other things. So look for that to come this Saturday. So stay tuned for that sighting, and remember to always follow Bigfoot.